Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today I am going to be assembling a featherboard, a modular featherboard system that I designed for the table saw and 3D printed. So I based this off a design I saw on Makerworld. That one was designed specifically for, I think it was a Bosch portable table saw, and it wouldn't work with my saw stop. The fence mechanism slotted into some things that just didn't work for me. So I designed it with a clamp mechanism, which you see me assembling here. And basically it's using a nut on one side and a knob holding a bolt that goes to this pad, which these two combined will actually clamp this sled or plate to the table saw fence. You see me going through, putting these through, and I'm using M6 hardware for all of this. I'll go ahead and put all of the sizes that I use for this in the description, but honestly, it's just going to be depending on what you need for your situation, because again, this is a modular system, and this should work on pretty much any saw on table saw fence, unless it's too wide. And if I do have a lot of feedback that it's too wide for your table saw fence, I'll go ahead and I'll redesign this plate here to allow you to clamp it to your saw. So just let me know in the comments. So once I get that done, I designed this so that this sled here, this is going to carry the fence featherboard system with a keyed dovetail slot. So basically it's going to be in this, and just it's going to hold it parallel to the fence when it's going in and out. The way I printed these was just so I would have less support, so I'm having to glue it into just this one side. So what you see me doing here is gluing in these dovetail slides and getting them set. Placement isn't very critical in this. It just needs to be on this piece and able to slide into the slot of the fence clamp. And you see me here wipe up a little excess that pushes off. Okay, now that I've got these set into place, I'm going to go ahead and start finishing up the rest of the assembly. So this first featherboard piece that you see, the one with the slots in it, that's the one that's called the base. That's going to be the one that fits up against the sled there. And these bolts that go through, again, these are going to vary on size depending on how much of spacers that you use. I recommend only using either the initial featherboard or just one extra to maybe straddle the blade. These are little 3D printed washers. Again, printed them this way to use less support, and these basically kind of index into the piece below it. This allows me to add the second piece on as well. These little green knobs here, I'm trying to show it in the video, but these are printed in place with nuts. So basically there's a pause in the 3D print which allows you to insert your M6 nuts into it to capture inside of the nut. So it gives you pretty good grip on these pieces as you put them together. So once this is done, this is pretty much the featherboard assembly finished. That's going to get attached to the sled here. And again, this is just M6 nuts and bolts that go through. No, I didn't use washers on these. You could if you want to. Uh, I designed the base of these nut or these handles wide enough to where they're going to do a pretty good job at gripping onto the 3D printed surface. Uh, so you shouldn't need them, but if you feel that you need them, it's not that big a deal to add a couple of washers on here as well. All right, that's the featherboard attached to the sled mechanism. I'm checking here to make sure that that glue is dried up so I don't accidentally glue these parts together. But once that's finished, I just line up the dovetails here and slot it into place. You notice the holes in the bottom, kind of the same thing as before. These bolts kind of latch in there and allow you to slide that sled back and forth, and they twist on with the same knobs. Between the fence featherboard assembly and the table featherboard assembly, there's a grand total of 10 of these knobs. So obviously 10 bolts as well. That's actually not including the two that go for the clamp itself. So a total of 12 bolts, 10 nuts. And here's the table saw base. This is a little bit different. It doesn't need a carrier because it's sitting on the thing I use, the miter slot, as the method to hold it down. I've got two of the, I think there's a 15 millimeter thick spacers. The one I put on the fence is a 30 millimeter spacer, so it just pulls it off a little bit more. These are the miter slot clamps that I mentioned. Basically, bolt goes through those and will slide into that miter slot. And when you tighten it down with the handle here, the knob, it will kind of pull up and clamp that down to the table in the position you leave it. Here's some more bolts going in. I think these are a little bit longer than what I needed. I think these are 80 millimeters long, probably too long for this, but I couldn't find any 70s near me. So uh, if it's okay if it's a little bit long, obviously you don't want it short. And here you see me putting a couple of those spacer washers in. The spacer itself being 15 millimeters. Then I'm putting a feather add-on on to give kind of vertical support, adding another spacer, and then a third feather add-on. So this is going to give me a lot of vertical support. So if you have a tall piece of wood, say for a resawing or something like that, this is going to give you pretty even pressure across the face of the board. What I think this might really work out well for is on a bandsaw as well. I don't have a bandsaw to show it, but eventually do plan on getting one. But with the fence mechanism, you could use the same hold downs that you have for the table and use the fence mechanism to do that because the positions are going to be in the right way to allow you to put pressure for doing, say, resawing on a bandsaw. Here I'm showing how the clamp mechanism works. It just slips over the fence itself, and as you hold it down, tighten those knobs to get it into the position that you want. You can see how all the knobs allow you to adjust the position in and out, up and down, to give you the best support and the support where you need it. Here's the table assembly. I'm slotting in on the miter slot the things that I showed before. As those get put in, basically allows you to slide it back and forth in there. With featherboards, pressing against the fence, you don't want to have them against the blade or up by the blade. You want to have them before the blade. This is to make sure that you're not pinching the blade as the board goes through. That can cause kickback. These are supposed to help prevent kickback, but you definitely don't want to put pressure against where the blade is actually sitting. The one over top of the blade is just holding the piece down to the table, so that one shouldn't have a problem sitting over the blade a little bit. So that is the modular featherboard system. I'm going to go ahead and get it set up and do a test cut and show you it in action.